Joining us now is the Lieutenant Governor of Kentucky, Jacqueline Coleman. She's also a former teacher, school administrator, and coach. Very important to coach basketball if you're in Kentucky. Lieutenant Governor, I want to start with your reaction to what Congressman Walberg had to say about federal education funding.
Well, thank you so much for having me this morning. It is an honor to be with you. When I hear folks from Washington, they sound really out of touch with what's going on in the states and certainly in our classrooms. And I can say that because I went from being a high school teacher, a basketball coach, and an assistant principal to being Kentucky's lieutenant governor. And what concerns me is the message that we're sending at a macro level here. And that message is that the United States of America would rather dismantle the U.S. Department of Education than invest in the kids and the families that need it the most.
Okay, I hear you, and I certainly understand. I'm a West Virginian. I hear you. But we also know that the status quo has not been great for the Commonwealth of Kentucky or states like West Virginia, other states that are poor states. And Kentucky has made some strides in recent years, but it's still consistently in the bottom third of states on a variety of education metrics, particularly in poor places like the coal fields. Absenteeism is a chronic problem. There are a lot of kids trapped in failing schools. I know this is not the change you wanted, but since Kentucky is one of just 6 states that gets more than 20% of its education funding from the federal government, is there an opportunity here for you and Governor Beshear to direct that spending in a way better suited to Kentucky's needs? Is there a silver lining in this for you?
Well, and here's an issue with that. Governor Beshear and I proudly run an education-first administration here in Kentucky, and I have no doubt that we would be willing and able to channel funding to where it's needed. But here's the issue. Kids from low-income communities, kids who depend on Pell Grants to go to college, kids who depend on special education services should not have to wonder if those services will be available to them based on who the governor and lieutenant governor is. It should be that we are willing to invest in kids and families that need it, regardless of politics and politicians. This is about people.
Okay, you're bracing for big challenges, too, on Medicaid. It's a big deal in Appalachia. About 1.5 million Kentuckians, that's nearly 30% of the population, are served by Medicaid. While the feds are looking at squeezing that flow of dollars, Republican state lawmakers in Frankfort are trying to beat them to the punch. They're going to add work requirements and other restrictions for able-bodied adults in the program. You have a Democratic governor, but an overwhelmingly Republican legislature that's promising to override any veto. I know you disagree with that legislation, or I assume you disagree with that legislation, but how are you bracing for impact on this? What's the move?
Well, we believe that healthcare is a basic human right. And we are now facing a situation where, as you said, about a third of adults in Kentucky depend on Medicaid. 60% of our kids do, too. And that is a real challenge. And to think that we would put families in a position where they can't take their kids to the doctor when they're sick, or they can't see the doctor themselves when they're sick, it is just wrong. I look at this funding as a lifeline for Kentuckians who are in low-income communities, who face challenges themselves. And let me also make this point, that, we disparage folks who are on Medicaid far too much, because the reality is more than half of the Kentuckians who are on Medicaid are already working. The reality is they either don't make enough money to afford private insurance, or their employer doesn't offer it for them. And so this is where we are obligated as a society, as the Commonwealth of Kentucky, to ensure that families have what they need. And, when we're talking about cutting health care from families, when we're talking about cutting education, my question is, then how do these families change the trajectory of their lives? If you're not healthy, if you don't have access to the funding that you need to better your education, then how will you ever lift yourself out of these circumstances?
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.